Today's video is directly from request. Was a direct request, and it is to compare the GORUCK GR1 to the Mystery Ranch times Carryology Dragon, aka No Escape. So yeah, I guess we're gonna have to get into it. So let's start a little bit with the elephant in the room. Now, obviously this is a Carryology collaboration, which is a bag that's not easy to find. This is just the GR1, the regular GR1, with the molly webbing, and it's just a regular old 1000D Cordura GR1. Why am I comparing these two? Well, I want to get something out of the way first. So I don't actually have a Carryology GORUCK here, but this is kind of like a similar idea. This is the GORUCK Heritage 21 liter, but you can ignore that part. The reason I'm not recommending one of these or the Huckberry Slick or the Carryology one is because they don't have the PALS webbing here, they don't have the PALS webbing here, and they don't have the PALS webbing here. The thing about that is, in use, in order to get these bags to be as similar as possible, you really need that PALS webbing, because otherwise they are so unbelievably different. You can add the PALS webbing to this via SCAR's GORUCK sort of customization service, but then you're into the big bucks, and we'll talk about that as we go. So that leaves us with the regular old GR1. This is 26 liters, this is 25 liters. As you can see, in stature, the Mystery Ranch is definitely taller, seems wider, it's a little bit more like outdoorsy style. The extra capacity, I suppose, in the GR1 is, actually I don't really know where it is, but in use they feel similar in size, although this one has some expandability features that you can't get easily on this one. Whew, that was a mouthful. In terms of the basics like build quality and all those things, they're both built extremely well. GORUCK doesn't really need to be discussed how well they're built. The Carryology one is built of Dyneema, which this one isn't. The Dyneema one has a tendency to scratch or something like that, as people have mentioned. This bag's also built of Dyneema, and it's been used a lot. This bag has been used a lot. This bag came from my friend Mo, who's a forest ranger of sorts, and used the hell out of this bag, and it has held up beautifully. So I wouldn't worry about it as that. I wouldn't worry about that point. I'm not gonna talk about the retail because you can't get them at retail, but it goes for around $500 to $600 depending on the situation. If you're looking for it on like the Carryology forums, you're into the $600 range most often, unless you catch yourself a deal. This bag can be had for around $250 to $300 depending on where you get it. A similar deal, you can get it as low as $200 in some cases for a used one. A brand new one is $325. So, and you can still buy it on GORUCK's website. Like right now, you can still buy it on GORUCK's website. The GR1, the Carryology one is $525, and then you're into the $600 range by the time you start adding this stuff to get to a usability level of this. So if you don't need any of that stuff, it's a different kind of video. But I want to talk about how, like, for me, I can make these bags as similar as possible, I suppose. Without further ado, let's talk a little bit about it. Now, the GORUCK doesn't have water bottle pockets. This one does. That's one of the distinguishing features of this bag, are these giant water bottle pockets. This material here, this multicam black material, is X50X pack. It's a little bit crunchy, quite stiff. And this material here, which is a different color, is the Dyneema. This bag, as I said, 1000D Cordura. It does have PALS webbing on the sides, and what I've done is added 2 water bottle pockets myself. Does it look goofy? Sometimes. When the bag is full, it actually looks okay. In this sort of like, moofy mode, it looks a little bit moofy, but, beggars can't be choosers. You can also take them off. You can't take these off. I've seen guys like cut these off, and it's like, well, I mean, with this, you can just, if you need them, you put them on. If you don't need them, you take them off, and that's kind of how, you can roll. That's one way that these can be like similar. Otherwise, I mean, one has bottle pockets that are huge, and one can have bottle pockets that are big. I recommend these ones from LB something or other, and I'll have a link to them. They're like these stretchy mesh. They go on to the palace webbing here on the sides. GORUCK also makes them if you want to add it that way. Now see, the thing is, they are $325 plus these are like $60 for the pair, so now you're close to $400. You're still $200 less than this at that point. So that's something to keep in mind. In terms of the bag's carry systems, you couldn't be more different. The Mystery Ranch, the Dragon, has an adjustable framing system, a fully adjustable yoke. This yoke will telescope up and down depending on your height. It is a small, medium yoke from Mystery Ranch, so that means for you very big guys, it could be a little bit small, although I've heard that it's usually pretty good for most builds. But again, you can fully adjust it. It has these lovely load lifters. Mystery Ranch bags are always extremely comfortable. This one is no different for me. It comes with a sternum strap installed. There you go. Telescopes up and down on this thing. And that's kind of it for this back panel. There is, hiding in the back here, there is a waist belt that has seems to have gotten quite dirty there for some reason that I didn't notice, but anyway. There is this waist belt here that you can deploy as you need, and it kind of smartly tucks up into this section, and then it goes like all the way up into there. And you know, you can actually use that pocket, I guess, if you really wanted to. And then inside, there's actually even more pockets and stuff in here. There's like a little kind of slip pocket that does up, and there's a little button that closes down. Obviously, the GORUCK has no such thing. And if you're into the original GR1, you don't even get any quick access pocket up here, which the Carryology one has. But again, not a huge deal for me. This one in particular, I don't know if you can see that. It's been attacked by a chainsaw. As I said, it was a very well used bag, which is cool, I think. Same exact deal over on this side. You can deploy that hip thing. There is mesh here, no mesh here. Similar deal for the Carryology version of this. But again, as I said, I'd recommend getting this one if you're in the market for this. On this version of the GR1, there is webbing here. There's not that webbing on the Carryology one. I've attached a sternum strap, which is this fidlock one. Again, you're at like 20 bucks for this thing, something like that. And then again, you're probably at like 420 now, still much lower than this. And you're getting similar, but you can kind of customize it as you want. So that's it for the carry system. Top handles. The top handle is, well, it's okay on the Dragon. It's better than it is on a lot of Mystery Ranch bags. It's just a piece of webbing folded. The GORUCK top handle is one of the best in the business. Feels amazing in the hand. It's got like a little bit of padding. It's just great. I would take this one over this one, but then again, you know, they're both okay. If you're a patch kind of guy, there's one patch thing here on the GORUCK, and then there's this big guy up here on the, I don't know if you can see that. There's this big guy up here on the Dragon. These bags deal with weather sealing very different. So on this bag here, the weather sealing is dealt with this flap here, and the actual laptop compartment is not weather sealed or aqua guarded at all. The laptop compartment's back here. We'll get more into that later. So your stuff is kind of at the mercy of this 1000D Cordura. On this bag, there are AquaGuard YKK zippers the whole way around. That makes them like not the smoothest in operation. So you're not going to be like super like okay. So there's that, or with this bag, say if you just unzip it this much, you can literally like just do that. You cannot do that with this bag, like, unless you're He-Man. And actually, with the Carryology version of the GR1, you'd have to be He-Man as well. This bag has these pull tabs here to help you with those zippers because they are a little bit sticky. In terms of quick access, the bags do it very, very differently. Now, I did mention those little quick access pockets here. If you sling the bag, they're actually pretty useful, and you could use these as dump pouches or dump pockets for some quick access things. With the GORUCK, you have this one pocket here in the front Now this is an older version of the GR1, and it actually only comes to like here on this one, but on the newer ones, it'll go all the way down to the bottom. And these pockets are not the best for quick access, truth be told, although it's much better on this kind of old one where it just goes here. But either way, not great. On the Carryology version, there's like a little, actually I can show you. So this is like my Heritage, it also has it. You can see there's like a quick access pocket up here on the top where you can put your stuffs if you want. So you have this kind of helmet pocket up here on the top with this very nice mesh, Dyneema, so it's got that nice feel. And then there's another quick access in here, or like another pocket inside the quick access, and then a key lanyard that goes in there. Especially good if you're like using this bag like packed out, like in sort of like, I don't know, camping mode or hiking mode or whatever. This pocket is free from the rest of the bag, so you can have stuff in there as you wish. That's it for the outsides of the bag, aside from one big thing, which is this. Well, actually, we'll save that for the end. Getting into the bags is a different sort of process, although they're both like sort of clamshell opening bags. So the Dragon opens to about here, but this tail is built in such a way it does clamshell open. I think you could almost call this a clamshell. Looks like there's another yoke hanging out in here. One cool thing about this bag, you can change that yoke, so there's that. Inside of this bag, there's a whole lot going on, so we'll talk about that as we get there. And I'll open up this one for posterity so you can see. So you end up with something that looks like this inside the GR1. We'll start with the Dragon. So inside the Dragon, you have one pocket that goes on this tail. Now this pocket is like very sparse. There's nothing there. So what I've done actually is I've put this Filip Raboch organizer in there, and it sits like here, and you can actually use this for things like your wallet or whatever on the go. When I used this on a hike for work recently, I needed quick access to things like my phone, but not super quick, and I was using the top lid pocket for something else, so this thing came in handy for that. Now, it actually fits perfectly in there, and because the size is perfect, it lays like flat, and you can just, you know, that is a very cool accessory for a lot of things. You can also mount it back here if you want. Inside of this bag, there are two pockets here. They are zipped with some of the best mesh I've ever felt in a bag, and things can go up behind them. So if you have something here, it can go up into here if it's a longer item like a tripod. So you could have a tripod here and stick it up there. Probably be a nightmare to put in, but you get the drift. Same pocket over on this side. There are these two pockets down here, which are pretty typical for mystery ranch bags. You can use them for organizing things like a pouch. And then along the back frame here, there is some Pals webbing. You see that? You can put some stuff there. I feel like for somebody who loves to organize their stuff and who probably goes hiking once in a while, this is probably definitely the better choice. I mean, the GR1 is sparse, and I love GORUCK. I am a GORUCK fanboy. But if you're the type of person that goes hiking and stuff, now I'm not. So this bag is like a gonna be used sparingly kind of bag for me, just because it doesn't like I'm not rolling up to a meeting with this, whereas I think I could kind of pull this off at a meeting. I could probably not pull this off at the meeting. I love black multicam. That is not the issue. It's more like the shape of it that is just too outdoorsy. I took it to the office once, and I believe the first thing somebody said to me was like, "Where are you going? Like, is it like hiking day?" And they literally thought that they were missing out on hiking day, which was funny, but not the look I'm normally going for. This bag I've carried to the office a lot of times. Normally without these water bottle pockets, but that's an option because you can take them off, and nobody has ever said anything, not even once, like literally nothing. So there is that. That's basically it for the organization on this bag. We'll talk a little bit about one more special feature when I get into it. So on this bag, you can open it up like clamshell, just like the other one. It opens up fully. And a little bit deeper on this guy, like literally all the way to the bottom, whereas that one is like kind of here, but it still flaps over, so I think it's kind of a wash. I would say that this is easier to pack for something like travel. So say you have this packing cube, you can kind of see it just kind of sit there, and you can pack on top of it like this. Whereas in this guy, can't believe I'm doing this again. Oh, here you go. Whereas with this guy, it's a little bit more of a, like an ordeal to get this to stuff down in there. But it is possible. That's a 10-liter full GORUCK packing cube. Now I should say that once that's in there, these pockets are basically useless. So if you're packing it out down there, it's useless. But then these pockets are quite smart, so they're away from all that. So you end up being able to use this, and you could have a pocket or something mounted here. I did mount a pocket here. The issue I had is when I was trying to pack the bag, it kind of got in the way of everything going down, so it really depends on how you use it. In this case, you're pretty like easy here. This pocket would obviously would get in the way of this one, or but this pocket's pretty flat anyway. This mesh pocket here. You've got this pocket up on the top, which I think kind of is a wash with the pockets up here on this guy, because in any event, you can just like one zip, get in there. To get into this pocket, you've got one zip to this part, which is fine, but then you got another zip to get into that side, so it's kind of a wash for me. Because also, if you don't flap your bag over too much, you can actually just like leave this zipper a little bit open. I mean, we're talking a 3-second difference here or less. Where was I? Now there is this flap pocket back here, which you can use for something like a tablet if that's what floats your boat. There is also PALS webbing here that you can't see. The reason is because what I do with my GR1 is I mount this truck login pouch. And basically the truck login pouch is, there are 2 pouches here, and then it's just an empty space here and a nice AquaGuard zipper. And it has some kind of like a mounting system back here. So it actually mounts right into that webbing. And what I like about that is, if I want to, if I just want some organization here, I can stuff this pocket down, and then now I just have 2 pockets up here. So when I'm getting into the bag, and I can just like fold it out and just stick something in one of these 2 pockets here. Or if I have something bigger that I want to stay there, I can take this out and pack this with something fat and then, you know, zipper it up, as it were. Other than that, normally there's nothing back there, but you could hook carabiners or something to that if you wanted to. Similar deal with the way it is on this one. It kind of gets in the way if you got a bunch of stuff there, but I find this, because it's higher up on the bag, doesn't tend to get in the way as much. The only thing we haven't really talked about much is the laptop compartment. If you're a laptop carrier on the GORUCK, you do definitely have to flick the strap out of the way and then get into this laptop compartment here. The laptop compartment is big and well protected, but there is that flip maneuver that you have to do. This guy, there is no such flip maneuver. The zippers are definitely sticky. There is no such a flip maneuver necessary. So there are 2 ways to get at your laptop here. You can actually get at it from this side compartment here. That's where your laptop can be. Huge laptops will fit in here, like probably a 17-inch, probably I say that. Or if you want to, you can open up this main compartment, and then you can just get into your laptop from here. Your laptop, the same section. Hello. Same section is there. And I tend to work out of the bag this way because it stands up perfectly fine on its own, and you can just work out of it, grab your laptop. I'll have my charger in one of these, that kind of thing. And then, yeah, that's how I tend to roll. You could roll differently if you want to. I find this bag good for travel, aside from the fact that it's a little bit tight. On the GR1, you know, similar deal. Now, the party trick, since we're nearly at the end of this video and I am tired, let's talk about the party trick. So, this bag, say, suddenly my daughter says, "Daddy, can you carry my backpack?" Well, yes, because on this bag, what you can do, there's a zipper down here, you can unzipper it, and then voila, you end up with this. Boom. Tail. Engaged. I think it's called a tail. And also this will work as a kind of a compression system for the bag. But what you can do is, so you have these G-hooks. And I could, essentially, take my GORUCK buddy here. And stick it here. And then we're rocking. I mean, that's a bit of a goofball look, but you kind of get the picture, right? Like, you can actually put a bunch of stuff inside this tail, and like, it's very useful. Like, literally useful. Obviously, the GORUCK can't do this. There are also some webbing loops here where you could hook a carabiner or something. So this gives the bag an infinite amount of more usability. But obviously the GORUCK can also attach things to this PAL's webbing. So what I've done in the past is, if I'm in a pinch and I have to carry something like my daughter's bag, I will just get some of these accessory straps. These ones are from Wandered. See if you can get it. But I mean, anything will work. And you attach here, so you can attach it here, attach here. You have a little clip, and then you can actually clip things on. Now, obviously, it's not as good as this, because this is super fast. This you're frigging around with, but point is, it's possible, and you can basically, you know, stick something onto here if that's what you want or need. Another option is some of this bungee cord. I carry some of that too, just in case that is more likely to be what I need. The thing that makes the bungee cord a little bit good is you can kind of loop it around the bottom here, so it kind of gives it a bit of a, like a shelf. So if you have like a jacket or something a bit weird that you're worried about slipping out, that bungee cord can loop around here and keep that secure. That's another thing, again, is you wouldn't be doing that on the GR1 version of the Carryology GR1, because it doesn't have this PAL's webbing. If you add the PAL's webbing, you're adding more money, and then you're into a much more expensive bag. So there was one more bag that somebody asked me to talk about in relation to this, and that is the Brown Buffalo. Now this is the 19-liter version, so it is obviously smaller, as you can see, but I'll talk about it very quickly. The Brown Buffalo is a different bag. It, again, does not have quick access. It only has this one quick access out here. Same deal for the 21-liter version, which I think most people will be curious about. And the top handle is also beautiful on this bag. The straps are somewhere between the two. I think they're a little bit more like office-y than the GORUCK straps, and then less outdoorsy than these, but there is a sternum strap and some quick release buckles down here. The build quality on this bag is absolutely superb. When you get a Brown Buffalo bag, you're literally like, the feeling you get is as if you're holding like something that has been painstakingly built. Like, that's what it feels like to me. These obviously were also painstakingly built. This is built like a tank, will last forever. This has been attacked by a chainsaw and is perfectly fine. But there's a feeling you get from one of these that just feels like it's just, yeah. It has AquaGuard zippers and no flaps, so that's a big difference from this one. More akin to this one. The organization is quite simple in here. You get these two pockets that are sort of similar to the ones on the side here, because what happens is when you put your things down here, it takes into the space of this. Quick access on the top, or sort of like a, I don't know, a meshy pocket here on the top. And the laptop compartment on this is a little bit of a weird one. You either stick this mod thing back here, which is what I have done, or they have this kind of concealed pocket back here that you can fit a smaller laptop in if that's what you're doing. Because it's only for a smaller laptop, I consider it sort of a wash with this, but that's it for that one. Anyway, this video is super long and it was about these two bags. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'm sure there's a ton of things I missed. I'm sure you would have liked to see me pack them out, but the fact of the matter is I'm extremely tired, and well, we've got another big video I'm going to film right after this. So, hope you enjoyed it. Talk soon, kids. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.